Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your video number 2 of 2. As promised, your review for Chelsea versus Fulham, which has finished 2-0, and we're about to get into all of that. As well as that, towards the end of this video, I will touch on Manchester City 1, Atletico Madrid 2, as well as Real Madrid Barcelona, which finished 3-0 to Barcelona. So we'll touch upon that towards the end, but we'll make sure to start off with, obviously, Chelsea have done it. Chelsea are Premier League Series champions. Absolutely amazing. Premier League Series champions, you know. We're champions. This is great. We've done it after 4 games of Poch in charge. We've got prime English silverware. No, of course we don't. Look, we are the Premier League Series champions, right? We've lifted a cup. Fantastic. It's a pre-season trophy. Happy days. I know everyone's excited because we never thought we'd see this day again, right? At least for the near future, but here we are. We've gone unbeaten, basically. We've unbeaten. We've won 3 games, drawn 1. I'm not mistaken. And yeah. We've won it. So, happy days. Very, very good goal tally as well. We've scored 12, conceded 4, if I'm not mistaken there as well. And we'll get into all of that. But before we do, I've got 2 things to share with you. Firstly, if you are new and you haven't somehow already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. That way you keep up to date on when I have posted a brand new video. As well as that, make sure you check out all the socials of Younes Talks Football. Instagram at Younes Talks Football, Twitter at Y Talks Football, and TikTok at Younes Talks Football. They are on screen for you right now. And the second thing is, there's a little message for you. Check this out. Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN. What's a VPN, you may ask? A virtual private network with a robust data protection service. This means that I'm very well protected with all my photos, my videos, my private messages, all safe and secure. One key advantage to getting Surfshark is being able to change your location to wherever in the world that is listed within Surfshark, and using any streaming services, especially for all of you guys that know you want to watch a 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday here in the UK and you're unable to because you cannot, right? Then this is where it comes in for you. As long as you change the location to a specific location listed within Surfshark, you are all set to go. There's no limit to how many devices you can use Surfshark on all at the same time, and as well as that, it's available on all platforms that you can possibly think of, such as iOS, Android, Microsoft, Fire TV, you name it, it's there. For all of you watching, Surfshark have a fantastic offer for you, and that is 3 months are free. Free of charge. To take advantage of this full offer, all you have to do is hit the link in the description, use the code YTF to get this massive offer, and you are all set to go. So don't forget to take advantage, hit the link in the description, use the code YTF, and enjoy. Let's get on with the rest of the video. Right, let's get cracking. Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. This is your first match review immediately after the game for the first, well, for this, let's call it season, even though it's a pre-season, but it's part of the new season, right? So, yeah, we're back into the midst of things, right? So, let's start. And we had, I would say, overall, yes, a very, very good first half. Chelsea actually had a good first half with a lineup that was a little bit weird. We didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I genuinely thought Pochettino would approach this game as a proper league game now and start to try and find the best 11. But I think he went down a different direction, which I actually applaud, and I think, nah, you know what? His way was correct. Hands down. And that is, you have an idea of who your best players are. Okay, great. Now try them in different combinations. Try them with different players around them. Mix it up. Take those players that we have an idea about. We all know who they are. Let's say Santos, for example. Jackson, you know. And instead of playing Jackson with Nkunku, for example, or, you know, having Santos being able to link up with, let's say, a Gabriel or a Maatsen, or, nah, we're going to stick him alongside Sterling, right? Let's mix it up, right? And you know what? I actually applaud that approach because it only helps to confirm whether the player and the way that he's been looking is genuinely down to the player or down to the players around him. It gives you a better idea. After today, we now have a much better indication as to who's ready. Who's ready to be in the starting 11 for that first game against Liverpool. Who is ready? I think we now know. So we started off with Slanina in goal. Kepa had the day off. Apparently he needed some rest. I don't know. Anyway, in relation to goalkeepers, apparently we're going after Roberto Sanchez of Brighton. So we're looking to do even more business with Brighton. What are we doing? But anyway, that's a story for a different day. We went with Gusto, Chilwell as the right back and left back, Silva and Humphreys as the two centre backs. Santos and Enzo Fernandez as the double pivot. Sterling, we had Nkunku, Chukwuemeka and Mason Burstow. Now, Mason Burstow, the lineups had it all wrong. Because it actually looked like Nkunku was the one that was more like the 9 and Burstow was drifting off to the right-hand side. But there were moments where they switched. There were moments where Nkunku found himself on the right-hand side, and he did say after the game that, being tried out in new positions, whereas Mason Burstow, who is technically a striker, did go up top to play as the 9 in portions of that first half. So there was interchanging, and that's part of the experiment. That's part of us getting to understand, who's best where? Are they on good form? Is it because of the players around them? Can they play in different roles? Much like we tried Maatsen, and look how that went. So there's that overall trial and error that is best to get out of the way now. That way, when we do play Liverpool and we get into the season, we know exactly what to do. And this game today helped. That first half, with this team, I didn't expect us, to be honest, to end up 2-0 up at halftime. When I look at that lineup, I think, and I look, all right. Gusto, fair play to him, exceeded my expectation, if I'm honest. And I know he's good, but I thought, if there's going to be a little loophole between him and Reece James, it's probably going to be Gusto. In fact, it was the other way around. We'll get to that later on because Reece James came on in the second half. Humphreys in the back line, he's looked very solid so far, but you never know when inexperience is going to kick in. Didn't. He looked great. Santos and Enzo, they get along pretty well. That balance looks really, really nice, by the way, and it's only cemented my view that Santos needs to stay. At this point, look, Santos needs to stay. I don't care. He needs to stay. The guy is so elegant, cool, calm, collected, knows exactly what he's doing on the ball, no pressure, always cool-blooded. He's great. His execution's fantastic, knows exactly where to go. He doesn't play like he is. How old is he? 19, 20? He doesn't play like he is. He plays like he's 28. He's so mature. It's unbelievable. So that's honestly really, really fantastic. We had Sterling, Chukwuemeka, eyebrows, question marks. What's Carney going to be like? What's he going to do? What's Sterling going to be like? Is he going to improve? Mason Burstow up top? Are we going to get goals from that? That's where I was like, we're not going to end up 2-0 up at half-time. But we did. Thiago Silva with a great header in from the corner that Ben Chilwell took on the right-hand side. Great header from Thiago Silva. Great finish. And then we had Nkunku score. And it was courtesy of fantastic movement from Carney Chukwuemeka. Fantastic. Carney had a very, very good first half that half. Looked very in. The one thing about Carney that I've always been like, I hope he can do, is being able to work in tight spaces. And he can. And today, that's exactly what he did. Very quick feet, found himself in on goal. Realistically, should be finishing. But the keeper saves it, lands right into Nkunku's path, and he taps it in, and it's 2-0. But when you look at that second goal, it's not about Nkunku tapping it in. The commentator actually got it pretty spot on. Very sorry if I keep touching my eyes because I got something in it. But it's what the commentator said. Look at the amount of bodies that were in that box. Last season, that was unheard of. You'd find you'd find Kai Havertz by himself. No one else is there. Kai Havertz is in the box because he has to be. And there's no one else running in. Or if there is, they end up being very, very late. This goal, there was 5 Chelsea players in that box ready to take it if they had to. And there was Nkunku. And there was someone else next to him. Who was it that was next to him? I don't recall. I'm not sure if it was Sterling. Or Santos. I don't know. But he takes it. Good goal, 2-0. So, when you're looking at that first half and you're looking at some of those plays, and by the way, Enzo, what you missed was criminal. Listen, Enzo, I'm going to forgive you on this one because you came from last season. I understand a lot of you are traumatized, about what happened last season, but those misses, they don't fly anymore. Last season, we were kind of accepting them because that's what we was expecting every single week. Nah, this season, nah. I'm sorry, that's a thing of the past. We don't miss those anymore. Done. There's no second guessing. There's no question to this. It's done, right? We don't miss those shots any longer. It's illegal now. Last season it was legal. This now it's illegal. So don't do it again. Because Enzo had it on a plate. And he somehow missed. I understand he's not an attacker. He came from last season. That's always an excuse. Don't do it again. Simple as that. Don't do that again. But the first half, look, I want to pinpoint out some names. I thought Slonina, fair play. Very, very good display overall. Can't disappoint. Gusto, very efficient. Very, very efficient at that right back role. Humphreys looks very solid for his age and his lack of experience. He looks very, very solid in that role. So fair play to him. I know he's going to be going out on loan. So good luck to him. But he killed it this preseason. Very, very good display. Chilwell, yes and no. There were moments, it's like, Chilwell, come on, wake up. But there were other moments where he does bomb forward, provide the energy, link up. He finds himself on those darting runs. The one good thing about Ben Chilwell is that he looks very, very, very fit. Very fit. Looks very much in shape and conditioned. So that's really, really good to see because the guy's just non-stop running on that left-hand flank. So it's good to see. Santos, I've already said. The guy's just sublime. For his age and his experience and what he's done, sublime. Enzo looks very comfortable with him. So it's very nice to see them link up. Carney Chukwuemeka proved this point. If there is going to be a backup for Nkunku in that 10 role, I would not mind it being Carney Chukwuemeka. At this point, I think he's made this point. So very, very happy with him. Mason Burstow, I do want to say, good display. Good display. Didn't, obviously, didn't light up the show, but didn't really make any mistakes. And if I'm not mistaken, he got a couple of shots off. One, I think, was blocked. Overall, I don't have much to say that's negative on Mason Burstow. I don't expect fireworks from him, especially at his age. So, fair play to him. Sterling. Man. I know Poch wants experience, and I know there's a side where you have to say, yes, allow Sterling to work with Poch for the season. But nah, man. If it was down to me, properly, I'm at the point now where I'd rather keep Angelo Gabriel. And I would sell Sterling. I would. And as I've said, I understand the experience is going to be a point, I think, that saves him. But what good is experience when you're not actually showing anything from it? Am I right? And what good is experience when you have Angelo Gabriel that barely has any, but he looks like he's turning into Neymar? It's just, you have to really weigh the pros and cons here and really, analyze this seriously. Sterling does not look good. He doesn't. Today he had moments. He was slightly better than I think his last display, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I don't know what's wrong. Is he just genuinely not good? Have we been scammed? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that because we know we're sending Angelo Gabriel on loan, but as I said, if it was down to me, I would change that. I would change that and try and sell Sterling. I really would. At this point, I would. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Second half, we made substitutions. We had Reece James, Chalobah, Cucurella, Colwell. Come on. Gabriel, Gallagher, Cassidy, Nicholas Jackson, and we also had Ian Maatson. There we are. It was 2 minutes or 3 minutes of subs just constantly happening because the guy on the fourth official had to constantly show it on the board, every single number. There was a lot of changes. Now, in relation to these players, I'm going to speak generally because we didn't score any goals, but there were combinations being formed. And I've said from players, like I said at the beginning of this video, that are players that you just look at and go, nah, you know what? He's proven it. Maatson. Jackson. I have to say Gabriel. I have to say Gabriel at this point. There hasn't been a display where you're disappointed. Those three have been combining so well together. It's crazy. You mix Nkunku into the mix as well, and it's sublime. Those guys all combine together, and it's just beautiful. But alongside that, and I'm going to get to some of those lads properly, in the second half, we were moving the ball well. We didn't really do much in terms of actually get clear-cut chances. There was a lot of blocks. Jackson had a few. Gabriel had a couple. Maatsen had one, I remember. There were chances that were coming. Gallagher, he had a shot, went straight to the goalkeeper. There were chances that were made, but they didn't turn into goals. So we didn't score any. But overall, the contribution and the way we were moving looked better than the first half, even though we didn't actually execute it much like we did in the first half. We scored 2 in the first half, we didn't score any in the second. But there were combinations and there were moves happening, which I'm just looking forward to. I'm really, really looking forward to. Reece James, as I mentioned, not as good as Malo Gusto in this game. Not as good as Malo Gusto. And I don't know why that is, but it's not a cause for concern. Reece James is Reece James, of course. It's a pre-season game as well. But overall, Gusto had a brighter game. So that's something to bear in mind, and it shows us we have very, very good cover. Chalobah, I feel for him because he came on and then he had to come off. And it was Alfie Gilchrist that came on, or Gilchrist, that came on for Chalobah because Chalobah felt something and he had to come off. It doesn't look bad. He walked off, so it doesn't look like he's got a bad injury. But we also have the development of earlier on, where Chelsea are signing a certain French right centre-back from Monaco, aren't they? So, yeah, we'll get to that at some point. But that could pave the way for Chalobah to leave. So, I have to ask this, have we seen Chalobah play his last minutes for Chelsea? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. We might end up selling him. So, that's something to bear in mind. But he doesn't look like he's injured badly. We had Cucurella come on, Levi Colwell. Levi Colwell just looks very sharp. At this point, looks very sharp, very solid, gets stuck in, protective, fantastic. Overall, very happy. Cucurella, better game, because he was making mistakes in the other ones. We all saw what he'd done previously. Today, better. Very good awareness for what Jackson is doing in terms of his runs. And we saw that one ball over the top. That was an example of that. And he had a few on the ground. But one ball over the top, combination with Jackson, that sent Jackson on his way. And honestly, you could argue on a different day, it would have been a goal. So, honestly, Cucurella, yeah, decent display today. Thank God for that. Ian Maatsen, I've already mentioned, and I'm going to put them into a bubble with Jackson and with Gabriel. Like I said, those three, when they combine, it's special. Maatsen just looks much like I spoke about Santos for his age and the amount of experience he has so far. He looks so far beyond how old he actually is. Maatsen looks ready. Ready. So, when you're asking about who's the starting 11 going to be against Liverpool, I'm looking at a Maatsen. I am at this point. Honestly, against Liverpool, realistically, it should be, even though he didn't play today, Mudryk, and it should be Maatsen. Now, let's wait and see how that's going to turn out, of course. We had Gallagher, Cassidy, like I mentioned, came on. Later on, we had Lewis Hall. We had Gilchrist, as I already said, because he came on for Chalobah. And we had Bergstrom come on for Slonina in goal. So we're not really going to comment on that because nothing barely happened. But in terms of Gallagher, Cassidy, Gallagher looked good overall, looked good. I've got nothing bad to say about Gallagher, I've got to say, for once. There's no criticism for Gallagher today. Looked solid, was combining well, got into good spaces, defensively and offensively, had a couple of shots on goal. Fair enough. Cassidy overall, I'm happy, but there's one thing that I'm starting to realise in Cassidy, and that is, he's very cool, he's very collected, he's very calm. Sometimes too calm. And I think sometimes he doesn't understand what's going on behind him. Or, realistically, players, and I would expect this, players are warning him, you got a man on you. But then he's doing nothing. And he gets dispossessed. And it happened a few times today. He got dispossessed. There are other times where you can see he's aware of his surroundings and he just executes everything exactly as he has to. But there's moments where he's on the ball, doesn't know what's behind him, boom, gets dispossessed. Oh my God, what a surprise. He needs to be able to understand his surroundings better. That's one thing that Cassidy, that I want to say about Cassidy today. Because overall, his ability on the ball looks fantastic. Technically, he looks class. But yeah, you need to have awareness, proper, and 100% concentration at all times in that role. That's why I'm so severe on central midfielders, and it's for that reason. Because you're the engine. And that goes for players that have left, players that are currently here, players that will come. Players that are in central midfield, you need to be aware at all times what's going on around you. You lose concentration for 1 minute, you're stuffed. You're going to lose the ball. And that's my problem with players sometimes in that midfield position, whether they are in central midfield, attacking midfield, or defensive midfield. Whatever. That whole zone, you need to know what's going on around you. So I got to mention it. Cassidy needs to know and do better there. But overall, yeah, decent game overall. Jackson, I want to end with Jackson. I want to end it with Jackson. Lewis Hall, by the way, Lewis Hall proved the point today. That even on that left-hand side, he's able to cut in. He's able to dribble. He's able to cross. And that's one thing that people were considering about him. Can he cross? Can he cross? Well, he can. Yeah? And that ball he sent over the top to Jackson, if Jackson actually hit that correctly, if it went in, it would have been goal of the season before the season's already started. But Lewis Hall and Maatsen have made a case here. Much like I was talking about Sterling and how I would, at this point, look to sell. The same could be applied to Cucurella. Cucurella didn't have a bad game today, of course, but we're looking at the profile of players we have in the squad. We have a Chilwell, we have a Maatsen, we have a Lewis Hall. We're covered. Understandably, I know we're going to keep going with Cucurella, and you never know. You never know under Pochettino, of course, and the same could be said for Sterling, although it's looking less and less likely. You never know what work he can do with these players, so we've got to give the opportunity. But from how we're seeing things at the moment, we've got enough cover in those roles. And we should be considering. So, that's Lewis Hall. Nicholas Jackson, though. He didn't score today. But, if you watch his performance today, it's one of those games, and again, I have to bring the comparison up. You know when we had Drogba, we had Costa, and they didn't score, but they had a great game. They just had a great game. That was today with Jackson. He just had a great game. He came on one half and done bits. He's everywhere. He's dynamic, he's present, he's not scared, he's confident, he's not shy, he's got the whole package. So far, it looks like he honestly has the whole flipping package, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do this season. I really can't wait for that Liverpool game, and Jackson's going to be starting up top. And I don't think that, you know what the problem is? Oh, no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem for us, it's a problem for the rest. I don't think other teams or other supporters know what he's actually capable of. I don't think they're expecting much from Nicholas. They're going to be looking, going, oh yeah, Jackson, that's right. They don't know what's about to hit them. They really don't know. And that's what makes me excited, because I can read it on his face that he's ready. He is ready. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. He's just got it. You know, we've lacked that in a striker for so long, since Costa, and he's got it. So, very, very happy to have Jackson. He's so dynamic. His link-up play, his hold-up play, his movement, his dribbling, his pace, his shooting, his awareness, his timing, We got a striker again. Honestly, fantastic. So, there we are. Chelsea, because of that, win the Premier League series. And, yeah, we are champions of the series. So, yeah, let's hope we can replicate that and actually become Premier League champions. That would be great. So, I know it's too much to ask. Don't expect that, but you never know. You never know. So, there we are. Overall, very happy. Pochettino, fantastic execution today. One thing I want to say about Poch, and we saw the clip of him in the first half when we had the drinks break. His instruction and his detail is second to none. He knows exactly what he wants from every single player. He's reading every single little thing and every single little detail during the game for everybody. And then he tells everyone exactly what they need to hear and exactly what they need to do. And it's just fantastic. Just like I said, you know, we have a striker, we have a manager. We actually have a manager again. So I'm really, really pleased with Pochettino and his work so far. Very, very pleased. And let's hope we can keep it going. Our next game is against Borussia Dortmund. If I'm not mistaken, obviously the Premier League series is done now. I need to check if we actually play in the States. Do we play Borussia Dortmund in the States now, or do we... Oh, there's no match info. I don't know if we play in the States or if we have to come back and play them here, or I don't know. So our next game is against Borussia Dortmund. That's actually, no, I've got to use logic. It's on the 3rd of August and we play at 1:30 in the morning UK time. So that tells me we're playing in the States. The Stamford Bridge isn't exactly going to be open at 1:30 in the morning now, is it? So, yeah, logic, common sense, thank you very much. Right, that's Chelsea done. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to today's performance and what you thought overall. And we'll see what happens in the next few days. Now, we move to Manchester City very quickly, and then Real Madrid, Barca very quickly. I've got a couple of things to say about those. Manchester City lost today 2-1 to Atletico Madrid, and I want to say... Manchester City in that first half had basically, you could argue, their first team on the pitch, right? They had their first team on the pitch. They made changes in the second half, and I think there's inexperience in their back line that showed. And hence, Depay scored, and I forgot who else scored for Atletico Madrid. 2 good goals, very good goals. One outside the box, the other one was a good goal too. But Manchester City looked like they lacked depth in defence. It's the perfect game for Atletico and Man City to face each other. You've got Man City that are known and they're happy to attack, very, very attacking team, against a very, very defensive Simeone Atletico Madrid team. For them, it's great to test themselves against these lot, and for them, it's great to test themselves against these lot. So it's a great balance and a great match. But in the second half, Man City's lack of depth in defence looks like it hit them. Now, that Guardiola deal needs to happen, I think. It really does, and especially if they let go of Kyle Walker. Are they going to be getting Pavard? Are they going to be getting cover? So, yeah, that's the one loophole that I can see in that Man City team now is defensively. The rest of the pitch looks as normal. You don't need to worry. Man City are looking good. But defensively, there could be somewhere to exploit there. Just letting all the other teams know. So we got to bring Man City down, yeah? So, there's that. But overall, good performance. They managed to claw one back. Ruben Diaz, if I'm not mistaken, with the header who got the goal. So, yeah, 2-1 overall. Decent display. But a loophole there that looks like it's showing for Manchester City that Atletico Madrid exploited very, very efficiently. Over yesterday, we had Real Madrid-Barcelona. Now, I want to say this. Barca and Real Madrid both look exposed. They look open. They look like they're not tight. I understand for them pre-season's a little early. It's still early days for their pre-season. I don't think they've played enough matches. But I don't know if it's down to fitness. I don't know if it's down to sharpness. They look like that. They look like they're quick. They look sharp. They look fit. But defensively, both teams just look open. It looks like you've just rolled the red carpet out. The amount of times Real Madrid were able to just attack and Barcelona were just able to attack. But there was one difference. And the one difference was when they were attacking, Barcelona looked like a team. Real Madrid looked like a bunch of individuals. Real Madrid are really, really, really lacking presence up front. Vinicius is by himself. There's no one. There's no one. Barcelona, you can see there are bodies and there's people working together. With Real Madrid, it's Vinicius takes the ball and he's got no one there. So Real Madrid, I have to raise an eyebrow for, much like Ancelotti can, given the people's eyebrow. You know, with Real Madrid, that's one observation. They look blank up top so far, anyway. And that's what cost them yesterday, because they were able to get the ball forward. They were able to get the ball into the final third, but they didn't do anything with it. And the few times Barcelona did take the ball and get into Real Madrid's last third, and they got into their final third, they found themselves scoring goals for fun. And 3-0, yeah, it was deserved. Honestly, it was deserved. So that's an observation, just to keep your eyes on what's going to happen with Real Madrid and Barcelona, because obviously there's Champions League football and all of that, so we're going to get into that and see exactly how it's all going to pan out during the season. But yeah, we'll see how those two get along to finish their pre-season and if there's going to be any improvements. Real Madrid need signings. They need to bolster that attack immediately. If not, they're going to suffer. And Barcelona need to get a bit tighter and stop allowing just actions to pile through them like it's very easy to get through Barcelona. So again, eyebrows raised for how they're going to perform in the Champions League. So there we are. Now, just to end very, very quickly, we've got news, and it's very, very good news for Chelsea. Very good news for Chelsea, and it's this. Here we go. We had exclusive. Chelsea have reached an agreement in principle with AS Monaco to sign defender Axel Disasi. Chelsea set to pay AS Monaco €45 million for the 25-year-old France international, right centre-back option. Fofana out for considerable period due to knee injury. I will get into more detail of this tomorrow, so it'll be video number 1. I'm sure there's going to be developments because he's looking like he's going to be on his way for a medical and all that, so we'll talk about him properly tomorrow for video number 1. But this is where I spoke about Chalobah's future. Is this the end of Chalobah? If he's going to be coming in, and we've got Thiago Silva, Disasi, you could argue we've got Levi Colwell, we've got Badiashile that's coming back too. Is that enough? Is it enough for Chalobah to leave now? Is he going to go, or are we going to keep him? Is there going to be too many defenders there? Let me know what you think. But this is the replacement for Fofana, and that tells me Chalobah could be out the door. So let me know your thoughts down below. And as I've said, make sure you are subscribed here to this channel if you haven't done so already, to be updated, and make sure that you are here for video number 1, where we go into more detail on Disasi tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys are here. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Don't forget social media links that are on screen for you right now. Links are in the description, so hit those now. Head over there, give us a follow, and enjoy the extra opinions and content that is being pumped out on those platforms. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new couple of ones. So I'll see all of you then. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, people. See you tomorrow. Take care, and peace.